The story follows a quiet young boy named Angus. One day, his mother takes him to the ocean, hoping he'll swim, but instead, he chooses to sit alone on the shore, lost in his thoughts. That's when something unusual catches his eye, a massive egg, half buried near the waterline. Curious, and examines it closely, before he can understand what it is, his mother calls him back home. Thinking fast, Angus hides the egg inside a box and carries it with him. Angus's older sister Christy arrives and casually asks Annie what Angus did at the beach. Annie shrugs it off, saying nothing special, he just kept to himself. Inside the workshop, Angus carefully sets the egg down. He pauses to look at his father's photograph, then flips through Charlie's old journal, silently wondering when his dad will finally come home. Trying to learn more, Angus washes the egg and scrapes away its rough outer shell, and what he sees underneath shocks him. The inside glows with a brilliant blue color. Before he can do anything else, Annie calls him again. Angus has no choice but to leave the egg behind. That night, a violent storm rolls in, rain pounds the ground, and Angus lies awake, worried the egg won't survive. Unable to ignore his fear, he runs back through the storm to the workshop, only to find the egg already cracked open. Peering inside, Angus comes face to face with a strange, living creature. When he reaches toward it, it snaps defensively. That's when Angus realizes the truth. It's not dangerous, it's hungry. He rushes off to grab food, and when he returns, the creature calms down as it eats. The next morning brings another shock. Angus wakes up to find soldiers standing outside his home. Along with Annie and Christy, he meets Captain Hamilton, who explains that enemy forces may attempt an attack from the sea. His unit will be staying in their house to protect the coastline. The soldiers move in, unloading supplies and setting up defenses. Annie orders the kids to stay out of the way. Later that day, Angus sneaks off to the library, desperate to learn more about the creature he found. Book in hand, he races back to the workshop and freezes. The place is wrecked. Tools are scattered everywhere, and the creature is chewing on Charlie's old boots. Realizing it still needs food, Angus heads for the kitchen, but he's stopped by Sergeant Strunk, the strict army cook. Angus begs, explaining the creature needs to eat, but Strunk refuses. Thinking quickly, Angus offers to take out the trash. Strunk agrees. Using food scraps from the bin, Angus feeds the creature again. It eats eagerly, clearly trusting him now. Angus gives his new friend a name, Crusoe. Once full, Crusoe happily splashes around in a container of water Angus prepares for him. Meanwhile, Captain Hamilton relentlessly trains his soldiers, keeping them ready for a possible attack at any moment. Angus leaves Crusoe hidden in the workshop and sneaks away so his mother won't suspect anything. Later, a stranger named Louis arrives in town and heads straight to the workshop where Annie is working. He asks for a job. Annie tells him he'll need to clean the entire place first. Louis agrees without hesitation. While cleaning, Louis carries out a trash bin, the same one Angus used to hide Crusoe. Angus spots this and runs to stop him, but it's too late. The bin is empty. Panicking, Angus confronts Louis, demanding to know who he is and what he's doing in his father's workshop. He reminds Louis that Charlie will be coming back from the war. Louis smirks and replies that until that day comes, he's the one in charge. Realizing Crusoe is now in serious danger, Angus rushes back inside, searching the house for somewhere safe. But Crusoe has already escaped into the home. Sergeant Strunk's dog, Churchill, spots him and gives chase. The dog lunges forward, but the chain snaps him short. Crusoe slips away and darts into the bathroom, and thus as Christy walks in. Christy lets out a scream and bolts upstairs in panic. Angus quickly follows her, calming her down and explaining everything. Christy agrees to keep the secret. She promises not to tell Annie, believing Crusoe wouldn't hurt anyone. Back in the workshop, Annie hands Louis a bundle of Charlie's old clothes and asks him to wash them. Louis hesitates for a moment, then quietly asks if Charlie might never come back. Annie's expression darkens. With a heavy heart, she admits the truth. Charlie died when his ship sank in the ocean. Trying to steady herself, Annie asks Louis to fix a leak in the bathroom. Moments later, Louis knocks on that very bathroom door. Inside, Angus and Christy panic and do everything they can to keep him out. Christy slowly opens the door. Louis steps inside, casually saying he's there to fix the leak, but then his eyes land on Crusoe. He freezes, nervous and confused. He whispers, "What is that?" Angus takes a deep breath and tells him the entire story. Louis looks stunned. He carefully reaches out to touch Crusoe, but the creature snaps at his hand. Pulling back, back, Louis suddenly realizes what he's seeing. He says Crusoe looks exactly like a seahorse, one of the rarest creatures on Earth. According to legend, only one seahorse exists at a time. When it dies, a new egg appears, and another is born. Louis begins explaining the creature's mysterious, almost magical powers, when suddenly, there's a knock at the door. It's Annie. Panicking, Angus begs Louis to help hide Crusoe, knowing Annie would never allow such a creature inside the house. After a brief pause, Louis agrees. When Annie enters, she sees nothing unusual. Crusoe peeks out from his hiding place for just a second, but Louis skillfully distracts her and keeps her attention elsewhere. That night, Louis quietly tells Angus that Crusoe should be returned to the sea, his true home, but Angus refuses. To him, Crusoe belongs with him. As the soldiers' dinner begins inside the house, Angus leaves Crusoe hidden in the bathroom while he helps serve the guests. In the rush, he forgets to close the door. Crusoe doesn't waste the opportunity. He escapes. At the same time, Sergeant Strunk's dog, Churchill, catches Crusoe's scent and goes completely wild. The dog charges through the house, tracking him down. When Churchill finally spots Crusoe, he chases him straight into the dining area, leaps onto the table, and destroys the entire feast. Chaos erupts. Everyone yells at Churchill as the dinner is completely ruined.